Big city life teaches that the pinnacle of self-importance is wasting valuable time on a moment of satisfaction abusing polite vocabulary, belittling others for causing your temporary inconvenience. Sometimes things happen. People stop suddenly, go around. I'm not kidding me. Excuse me is commonplace. I didn't say anything. His exaggerating fit in. Argue over what? This business was a lark anyway. Carrying packages on a bike? Despite Gorbachev, our country's scars were too open to ever heal with bandages, too soiled to ever work. Our country was accustomed to the least compassionate relations. Tied in his broken seatbelt, Hank insisted on buying gasoline for my family's scar. He actually said, I remember loving the car. Generations were raised to worship their independence. One summer was the best. I traveled shotgun while my friend Pat drove once comfortably less congested roads to and from New Smyrna Beach. We surfed that whole summer between morning and evening swim practice, or as much of the months as his father's gas paid for our life in the breeze. But the internal combustion engine overwhelmed the world. Realizing that pollution and congestion shouldn't be commonplace hasn't dissolved pollutants, nor has figuring this out not gone on for centuries. We're long past twice-fooled ignoramuses for the umpteenth time over and over and over again. I couldn't stop myself from saying, everything takes time, while pushing on the accelerator. Hank said, time for not dead yet, trapped canaries who refuse to distinguish ourselves from Plato's cave. We're not reality. We live in it and devise the worst shapes ourselves, such as our culture's beliefs and scientists' insane confidence they can fix anything with enough time. That's subjective fantasy. I believe refuse should be solved in your own generation. However, the solution remains simple scientific deduction, mathematics, which is, might, and always be money. I said you are a shill for Greenpeace. Then already, as usual, in our short time, Hank shrugged. Financial existence needn't be so difficult. So I grinned. To money. Propaganda never puzzled me. Hank stuck his face out in the wind and screamed for me to hear. You'd think a better world wouldn't be financial, except the monster power bites more direct under dictatorship. Then he pretended to bring his head in and snapped it back out to catch sight of our tail, keeping up at the last corner. Back in, he said, I realized long ago we're closer to organized with money than without. Your country never tried going that far without money. This system was mismanaged behind the false idol simplified price. Exponential results were erased by doctoring minimally waged value. By simply ignoring inflation, stabilized price made supply underbought and demand chillingly undersold. Plus, I'm sorry the dollar never respected the communist ruble. Attempts were not made. I was able to wedge in. Don't sweat it. We were authoritarian. Then Hank, loosening the seatbelt, slid forward on the seat, casually, as if there was a silver lining to spot through the windshield. Sitting back with his head turned, looking out his window, he suddenly appeared to me how Cassidy must have viewed paradise, holding the roof in forward intensity so the wind splashes all over his face. I was scared this had nothing to do with money. In fact, Hank said, give the car back to your father. The communist ideology obligated your rulers to build a good subway system, the right thing, while the far west reacted by subsidizing. Pampered ourselves with personal luxury platforms to carry our friends in. Driving ourselves, earlier generations were led astray in reaction to the self-preserving transit robber barons. America crashed into the inability to fully appreciate mass transportation offers the same thing differently. Our